Hey there, greetings everybody, and welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here Tuesday night. I'm going to put this video out for tomorrow morning. This is the first video of my new series for the month of November. So basically what it is I'm going to pick 30 of my 30 favorite albums that came out in 1979, and I'm going to do one each day for the entire month of November. That's the plan. There's no other kind of prerequisite or anything. They can be, the only other prerequisite I guess might be that they have to be rock albums. I'm not doing anything other than rock albums here. What else can I tell you? It's not one of these. Sometimes I'll do the thing where I only pick one album per group, but in the case of when you're just doing 1 year, very often you might get 2 albums from a band, but in this case there wasn't any from there was one live and one studio album by one artist. That's it. But everybody else just got the one shot here. The unusual thing about 1979, and I think it's one of the reasons why I chose it, is because of my group of 8 bands, only 2 of them, I believe, only 2 of the 8 actually released albums in 1979. It's a little unusual. And both those, one of those albums is on here. The other one I didn't put on, and I'll get to that when I get to my honorable mentions at the end. But anyways, so basically it's my top 30. So I'm going to rank them according to how I like them and how I feel about them. This is not definitive. This doesn't mean that this is the absolute number 30 best album of the year, or this is absolutely the number 1. It's just my own particular fancy and how I feel about them. There's a couple of albums here that maybe some people wouldn't even consider, and then other albums I left off that they're going to be like, how can you leave that off? Well, there's reasons for everything, and I'll try to explain those reasons as we go through and do these groups and their albums. So I picked 30 from a list of 75 albums. I think it was 75. So 40 albums didn't make it. So more didn't make it than actually did make it. And I changed this at the last moment. I went through them all, and then I had my 30. And then this morning, when I was rewriting them in an order that I was going to do them, I changed some of it around. Changed some of the orders around, a couple different spots. And I also took 2 albums off of the list, put 2 others on there. And because I started thinking about, that album, why isn't that on my list? And then I thought, this one's on there. It's better than that one. I like it more, so it should be on there. So I did that twice. I think what it is that there are some albums that I've listened to for years, and they're a little bit burned out, so they've lost some steam. Other ones I've been listening to for years, and they're still really amongst my favorite albums. And then you've got some new albums that I've only listened to a few times, but they're really strong, so I had to put them on. And then there's a couple that I knew that, given time, this album is going to be doing really well with me, but it's just not going to get enough time before the series starts. So that's the case with some of these things. Okay, so the first album that I'm going to do in this series, this is Day 30 here. This is my first choice of the. So this is the song that's in. This is the group and the song that's in 30th spot, and I will continue. Sorry for the noise. There's some kids outside because it's. Guess what? It's Halloween. Anyways, so I'm going to do them from my least favorite to my most favorite. It's nothing new, nothing unusual. So this band that's coming in on day 30, boy, I'm stumbling around here a bit. On day 30 is a band that wasn't going to be on this list. I had taken them out, and then I looked at who was replacing them, and I thought, you know what, I just know this album better, and even though maybe I might like the other one better, I haven't listened to it enough to know that, so I decided to put this album in its place. So we're talking about the album Sinful by the American rock band Angel. Okay, so for those of you who don't know anything about this group, they were around in the mid to late 70s, and I think they actually went a little further, went into the 80s a bit, on the Casablanca label. So that explains my connection to them right there, because I was a huge Kiss fan, and I started looking for other bands on that label, and this was one of those bands on the Casablanca label. Also, they had a late night rock concert that used to be on all the time that featured Kiss fairly regularly, and this band also was featured with them. And I think this band may have, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think they actually toured with Kiss as their backup band at points as well. So anyways, Angel is the band. The album is called Sinful. It's got 10 tracks on it. This album, you know, because it's 1979, a lot of bands started going this way in 79, 80, and 81. I consider this band to be a hard rock band. When they get to this album, it's a little bit more like a power pop. So they've become a little more poppy on this album, but still, nevertheless, a good band. 5 members in the band. Frank Dimino. I knew this before. Frank Dimino, vocals. Punky Meadows, guitars. Felix Robinson on bass. Barry Brandt on drums, and Greg Gouffrin on keyboards. So they got the long hair, and they got the white on this particular album, Sinful. If you see the cover, they're all in white. The background is white, pretty much, but they're all pretty much dressed in white colors. They have the long hair. They look like what you would call a hair band, so to speak, but to me, they never were part of that hair band scene. I don't think of them that way. So the music is kind of like a power pop, some hard rock in here, but some power pop and some pop. So it's kind of a mix of all three. The best song on the album, I think, is Don't Take Your Love, which is the opening track. This, to me, is a quintessential kind of Angel sound. And the rest of the songs are pretty much the same. Some of them are a little bit harder, Bad Time. Some of them are a little bit more poppy, but you know, all pretty solid songs. The album from top to bottom is pretty solid, and I think that's part of the reason why I moved them into the list, because the band that they replaced, or one of the 2 bands that were replaced on the list, I replaced them because they had some good stuff on their album, but they had stuff that I don't really like either. So I thought it would be better to start with Angel, and I wanted to give them some attention since my history with them goes back to that late night show back in the late 70s and early, and I think it was just the late 70s, like 77, 78, 79, and I got to see them play, and I liked them. So there you have it. Day number 1, band number 30 of my top 30 albums for the month of November. So my top 30 albums. This is Sinful by Angel. I hope you enjoyed this episode. They'll be a little bit shorter now because I've done most of the explanation part. So I tend to be kind of tongue-tied the first time I'm doing this. So anyways, Sinful from Angel. This is the episode number 1, album number 30 of my favorite albums from the year 1979. So please, if you have an album that you want to put in, you can put that in the comment section below. You can give me whatever you want, or you can make a comment about this album, or a comment about any of this. That's fine with me as well. So please like. All the likes are good because it tells me that you like this series. Then I'll do something more like this again in the future. And subscribe, much appreciated. And we'll be back on Thursday for day number 29 with album number 29. So take care and have a good day. Bye.